This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure to order Jamie Glazov's new critically acclaimed jihadist psychopath, how he is charming, seducing, and devouring us. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Well, I'm used to being unfairly demonized, but what the Democrats did and what CNN did goes beyond the acceptable rules of even demonization. What happened is, you might remember, I made a 70-minute speech on behalf of President Trump in front of the Senate, and it had an impact. How do I know it had an impact? By the way, a new book that's out just this week. It's just called Defending the Constitution, Alan Dershowitz's Senate Arguments Against Impeachment. It has my argument, and it has the questions and answers. And after I made my argument, a bunch of senators came over to me and said, you had really persuaded us. And Ted Cruz says Dershowitz's learned insight played a crucial role in convincing senators, et cetera, et cetera. So the Democrats saw that I had been persuasive. And then the next day, when I answered a question, they ripped the question out of context, actually doctored the recording of the conversation, put it on CNN, and made it sound like I said the president can do anything he wants to do in order to be reelected if he thinks it's in the public interest, including illegal actions. So here's what actually happened, and I'm now in the process of thinking about suing CNN for this because it was such a deliberate, willful action. So Senator Cruz asked me the question, does it matter as a matter of law if there was a quid pro quo? And what I said is, what would make a quid pro quo unlawful, this is crucial, what would make it unlawful is if the quo were in some way illegal. In other words, the president can't do anything illegal. I said if he had a corrupt motive, that would be impeachable. If he had a kickback, if he got anything personal, if he did anything unlawful or illegal, that would be impeachable. But then I said, if he engaged in completely lawful conduct, the mere fact that one of his motives may have been to help him be reelected because he thought his reelection was in the public interest, that mixed motive could not turn an otherwise lawful act into an impeachable or unlawful act, a self-evident proposition. And CNN, by the way it edited it, made it sound like I said the president can do anything he wants as long as he feels like his election was in the public interest. It would be the same as if I said the following on the Senate floor. Now, senators, let me tell you what I don't believe. I do not believe this. I do not believe a president can do anything to get reelected. And CNN just ran, a president can do anything to get reelected, without saying that I said before that, this is what I don't believe this. That's not editing, that's doctoring. And so the question is, as someone who strongly believes in the First Amendment, do I sue CNN for willfully and deliberately? Now, the problem is, it's expensive to sue CNN. It costs probably $2 million. They will defend to the hilt. But I'm thinking seriously about doing it. I strongly believe in the First Amendment. I was one of the law clerks in New York Times versus Sullivan back in 1963, 1964. I understand the First Amendment. I'm not quite as expert in it as Judge Kaczynski, who's written some of the most important decisions in the recent several decades on freedom of speech and the First Amendment. But I know enough about it to know that the First Amendment doesn't protect willful, deliberate efforts to create and construct and put in the mouth of somebody something that he or she didn't say. So I'm thinking about it, and I appreciate your input, and thank you.